So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to our lovely Dr. Anna O'Marley, Curator of Historical American Art and the Director for the Center of the Study of the American Artist. So let's all welcome Anna. So glad to have you today.
Thank you. I like the quiet clapping. All right. Thank you all for joining us today. I had a note from our director, Brooke, asking how many are here for the first time. You know, if it's your first time coming to an Art at Noon, welcome. We've been doing these programs for, decades maybe, right, Abby? And we usually do them, we've done them in our historic auditorium, we've done them in our new Rotunda auditorium, and this is our first time doing it from my home office / guest bedroom. Just so you all know, I have a 6-year-old at home with me. He's doing some schoolwork downstairs with his classmates via Zoom, and hopefully then we'll be watching television. But my husband is working in a hospital right now, so he isn't here. So just a warning if somebody comes through that door. Okay, so let's get started. And I look forward to having a discussion with all of you. And thank you so much for signing up. We are just thrilled to bring this to you today. So before I get started with the talk, I'm going to share my screen so I can show you the PowerPoint. Okay. All right. Does it look good, Abby?
Looks great, Anna. Looks great.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. I want to thank you for coming today. And I also want to thank the Office of the Architect of the U.S. Capitol and the U.S. Capitol Historical Society, who supported my research and actually published a version of this talk in their journal in 2018. And at the end of the talk today, I'll provide a link for you. So if you loved what you heard about and you want to see some beautiful pictures and read an article, you can. And I'm happy to say that my dear friend James also published an article in that same piece, in that same journal, and he's here today. So thanks, James, for supporting this talk. Okay, so the topic today is painting history in the United States Capitol Rotunda. So sit back, enjoy the talk. We're going to go back to Washington, D.C., in the 1830s, 40s, and 50s. And we're going to talk about Philadelphia, and we're going to talk about Washington. So probably two places that are on your mind a lot right now. So, but let's go back in time a little bit. On May 9th, 1852, the officers of the Art Union of Philadelphia drafted a petition to the U.S. Senate's Committee on the Library to ask that one of their own receive the honor of a commission for a history painting to be installed in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. Oop. There we go. Quote, I'm now reading you a little bit of this document, not the whole thing. The Art Union of Philadelphia, dedicated to advance the arts and design in the United States and duly incorporated by the legislature of Pennsylvania, begs leave respectfully to represent that as a proposition has been entertained by your honorable bodies to employ the services of eminent American artists to paint national pictures to fill the vacant panels of the Rotunda in the Capitol in Washington, it would be extremely gratifying to the friends of art of this state if the services of Mr. P.F. Rothermel should be engaged for one of the series. A few days before, on April 28th, the artists of the city of Philadelphia wrote a similar petition. The undersigned artists of the city of Philadelphia, having learned that your honorable bodies are now considering the expediency of purchasing or giving commissions for pictures to adorn the public buildings under your control in Washington, do therefore respectfully present this memorial, asking attention to the merits of our fellow townsman Peter F. Rothermel, as an artist really deserving of the high rank he holds as a historical painter, and believing that any commission your honorable bodies might be pleased to confide to him would be completed in a manner calculated to reflect credit on the arts of the country and on this, his native state. The signatories of these two documents represented the artistic elite of Philadelphia, including Henry Carey, president of the Art Union and noted art collector and publisher, John Sartain, manager of the Art Union and the city's leading printmaker, and painters and Pennsylvania academicians Thomas Sully, Rembrandt Peale, John Nagel, J.R. Lambden, William Trost Richards, J.B. Waugh, and Paul Weber. So any of you who are 19th century American art nerds, those names might sound familiar. In short, Philadelphia employed all its artistic firepower in an attempt to install a painting in the Rotunda. From the perspective of the city's artists and art supporters, this valiant attempt was met by disappointment and actually derision. However, this failed attempt at a commission reveals much about the artistic and legislative process from the 1830s to the 1850s, and the way these two seemingly disparate realms, legislation and artistic process, were intimately intertwined. Many people do not tend to think today of artists actively shaping our nation's history, except of course at PAFA, we always think about that. But that's exactly what Rothermel and his contemporaries, including Emanuel Leutze, John Gadsby Chapman, William Henry Powell, Robert Weir, and John Vanderlyn, were attempting to do in securing and executing paintings for the Rotunda from the 1830s to 50s. As American painter, Emanuel Leutze wrote to Montgomery Meigs, who was the Army engineer and supervisor of the construction of the new Capitol Dome and wings from 1853 to 1859. He actually wrote this letter from Dusseldorf, Germany, where he was working. Quote, "Who can teach like artists? Give the boy a book of deeds of his fathers, and as he turns slowly leaf by leaf, will not the first impression be lost before he receive the third and fourth? But let us paint history. Behold, open to your eyes, unrolled to your perception, the pictures will steal upon your mind imperceptibly, without an effort, without fatigue." Just as Leutze argued, those artists that did succeed in achieving a commission for the 4 vacant Rotunda panels have an outsized influence on how citizens of the United States understood and imagined their history. As the paintings were not only displayed in the Rotunda, but were mass reproduced throughout the 19th and 20th century on objects as diverse as fine art prints, history textbooks, sheet music, postage stamps, World Fairs guides, and currency. Indeed, as early as 1855, an article in the Crayon, the nation's leading art periodical, one author opined of the Capitol paintings, quote, "To describe and criticize these pictures with minuteness is not my intention, and would be a waste of time, for by the art of the engraver, they have been made as familiar to the American people as a thrice told tale." So that's something I think that's important to keep in mind. Like 19th century people would have been really hyper aware of these images in a way that we might not be today. In our 21st century moment, when much of our country is examining its troubling and contentious shared artistic past, these pivotal yet understudied decades of antebellum American art history urgently merits sustained examination and analysis. And I'm showing you 2 recent exhibitions, which I think suggest the amazing work being done by contemporary artists, particularly contemporary artists of color, using history painting. And I'm really thrilled that my friend Adrienne Childs is here today, because she has an amazing show on view in Washington right now, Rifts and Relations, and there's some great history paintings in it. So go history paintings, Adrienne. I was really excited about that. So this talk is part of a larger project, Creando Historia, which examines history painting at the 3 oldest art academies in the Americas as expressions of comparative hemispheric, that slide, hemispheric nationalist ideologies during the long 19th century. Notable art academies were founded in Mexico City, Philadelphia, and Rio de Janeiro at the turn of the 19th century. By focusing in particular on academic history paintings that were produced by artists working at these schools, my larger project asks, what roles did these institutions play in defining national histories and identities? How did art academies in Mexico, the US, and Brazil shape education programs aimed at producing modern citizens? To what extent did national politics determine the functions of art academies? What types of visual idioms were deployed by art academies to shape national consciousness? How were the international conventions of academic history paintings used in these three countries to explicate their complex individual projects of nation building and expansion within the transnational discourse of modern painting? Whether it be paintings of Columbus and De Soto on view in that hanging alongside George Washington and Thomas Jefferson in the US Capitol, or paintings of Columbus and the Spanish sovereigns Ferdinand and Isabella that hang alongside Moctezuma and Fra Bartolomeo de las Casas in the Museo Nacional in Mexico City, or paintings of First Masses in Brazil. History paintings from the 19th century form the visual backdrop of conceptions of citizenship and history across the Americas. In a time when scholars and artists are increasingly examining the ideals and legends of America's founding, these tangible things are even more important. And I'm showing you here an installation that I haven't seen in person yet. I'm really sad. The Great Hall Commission at the Met with Kent Monkman's installations. And I think that I love this slide that I put together just last night, because you can see the parallels between the Met's installation and what's going on in the US Capitol, which I know that Kent would be aware of since he's very engaged with history painting. So these tangible things illustrate a period in the hemisphere's history when Americans, North and South, were struggling to define the political, social, and geographic borders of their nationhood. Visual artists were often at the vanguard of this definition, just as they are now. And the grand canvases they left their countrymen represent the most iconic and lasting examples of this phenomenon. Now is the time to demand that art historians investigate these narratives in the context of the diverse realities of artists and audiences involved in their conceptions. So while my larger project focuses on history painting in the Americas, this talk is going to focus on how US artists, particularly Rothermel and his contemporaries, national patrons of the arts, architects, and members of Congress, battled to decorate the Rotunda, the new nation's most prominent art gallery, with their own competing visions of what American history was the most suitable to be enshrined in the navel or compass stone of the American Republic. And what I'm actually showing you here is an image of the actual compass stone that is it's in the crypt of the US Capitol. It's the geographic center of Washington, D.C. And it was actually meant to be where George Washington was buried, but in the end, Martha Washington decided she was not going to have any of that, and she buried him at Mount Vernon, but he was supposed to be there. And then directly above that is the beautiful dome, which my friend Fernanda from Brazil, we visited there with a group of Mexican and Brazilian scholars, and she described this building as impressive and oppressive. And I would say that's a wonderful description of the US Capitol building. History painting as practiced in the antebellum United States was actually indebted to 18th century British practices, but it was modernized by Benjamin West, a native of Swarthmore, Pennsylvania, who was the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts' first honorary academician, and was the successor of Sir Joshua Reynolds at the Royal Academy in London. When he painted his iconic painting Penn's Treaty with the Indians, he was in fact living in London in the metropolis of British Empire. West updated history paintings beyond Reynolds, his heroic or universal subject matter, to include recent history. Despite being pioneered by a young man from Pennsylvania, modern history painting got off to a somewhat rough start in the United States after its brilliant debut in London. And so our painting here that many of you may know from history books was actually painted in London. West's American students strived valiantly to bring history painting to the attention and admiration of the American people. The first generation of US rather than colonial artists included Rembrandt Peale, Samuel Morse, Washington Allston, and John Trumbull, who were working in the 18 teens and 20s. They all tried to bring history painting to the American people with mixed success. So while much ink has been spilled on the 4 paintings Trumbull completed for the Capitol Rotunda in the early Republic, and I'm not showing you those, but those are the ones from the Revolution with scenes of Washington that you may know. The 4 additional paintings installed throughout the 1840s and 50s have received less sustained recent scholarship. The 4 subjects eventually chosen for the panels were very specifically hemispheric in their scope, encompassing different regions. The southern United States with Chapman's The Baptism of Pocahontas at Jamestown, Virginia, which was installed in 1840. New England with Weir's The Embarkation of the Pilgrims at Delft Haven, which was installed in 1843. The Caribbean with Vanderlyn's The Landing of Columbus, which was installed in 1847. And finally, the American West with Powell's Discovery of the Mississippi by DeSoto, which was installed in 1855. Originally, the so-called Western panel, so that's what this DeSoto scene was first called, Western panel, was to be painted by the artist Henry Inman, who was president of the National Academy of Design in New York City. And the subject, as of 1836, remember, this is a legislative process, so it went on for a long time, was the immigration of Daniel Boone to Kentucky. So that was the Western panel. However, upon the death of the artist in 1846, the vacancy set up a flurry of proposals from artists and art connoisseurs around the country to follow in Inman's footsteps. Eventually, Inman's student, William Henry Powell, who had studied in Cincinnati and so was nominally considered Western, received the commission in 1848. And the subject matter, according to an article published in advance of the installation of the painting in the Rotunda in 1854, was selected by a committee of Congress. So Congress decided on these subjects. And these were the people who made the decision. Mr. Pierce of Maryland, John Y. Mason and Jefferson Davis of the Senate, and John Quincy Adams, Mr. Preston of Virginia, and T. Butler King, all House of Representatives. The subject matter of DeSoto raising a cross on the Mississippi was taken from 2 recently published and widely popular history books. Theodore Irving's The Conquest of Florida under Hernando DeSoto, which was published in 1835, and George Bancroft's History of the United States, published in 1834. However, in 1852, Powell was still working on the painting in Paris. And I believe that it was this delay that caused Philadelphia's artistic community to see a window of opportunity for one of their own, Rothermel, to overtake the commission and provide his own and his powerful patrons' view of the American West. So a Philadelphian's view of the American West. The campaign of Rothermel and his supporters to achieve a U.S. Capitol Commission in 1852 was the culmination of a decade of history paintings that Rothermel painted focused on the Spanish conquest of the Americas. Rothermel was the director of PAFA from 1847 to 1855. So Brooke, he was your predecessor. And at that time, PAFA was one of the most he was one of the most influential instructors at a time when PAFA was one of the most prestigious art schools in the Americas, so all over the Americas, having been founded in 1805. As a leader at PAFA in the 1840s and 50s, and I think I have an image here. Yeah, here's what PAFA looked like at that time. And as Philadelphia's most important history painter, Rothermel played a part in broader international trends in history painting in the mid-19th century, and looking to his career expands our understanding of how artists at North America's most venerable art school negotiated and visualized national identity during the period of territorial conflict between the United States and Mexico, known as the Mexican-American War here in the US, that lasted from 1846 to 48, or the Primera Intervención Estadounidense in Mexico. In this period, PAFA was the focal point of Philadelphia's cultural life and a major force in the American art scene. Although New York City, I know we've got some New Yorkers out there, was emerging as a leader in the American art world, the nation's first capital city was still known as the Athens of America. As scholars have recently shown, including my dear friend Ray Hernandez Duran, in the 1840s and 50s, a similar cultural renaissance was happening in Mexico City around the Academy San Carlos in Mexico. So this larger project that I have worked on with colleagues like Fernanda in Brazil and Ray in New Mexico brings together these nationalistic history paintings to examine how the same subjects, most notably the territorial conquest of the so-called New World, was employed by academic artists in each nation to explore very different national interests and imperial desires. It's my hope that focusing on the of Rothermel in relation to this broader story will one day flower. So let's get back to Rothermel. Rothermel began his series of large-scale history paintings related to the Spanish conquest with Columbus Before the Queen in 1842. Shout out to our friends at the Smithsonian who own this painting. This painting was influenced by a combination of popular literary influences, including the Romantic historian William H. Prescott's first book on the history of Spain, History of the Reign of Ferdinand and Isabella, which was published in 1837, and his contemporary Washington Irving's History of the Life and Voyages of Christopher Columbus in 1828. Each of these histories portrays Isabella as a Christian missionary and Columbus as her able knight. This was a popular subject for both American and Mexican academic painters at the time. Contemporaneous painting include Emanuel Leutze's Columbus Before the Queen that you see up here now at Brooklyn, but shown at PAFA in 1848. Powell's Columbus Before the Council of Salamanca, which hung in the library of the US Capitol in 1847 and helped Powell secure his capital commission. And Juan Cordero's Columbus Before the Catholic Sovereigns, which was painted in Rome in 1850 before it went back to its home in Mexico City. Rothermel's series of scenes of the Spanish conquest began after a prominent art connoisseur saw Columbus Before the Queen at an exhibition organized by Rothermel at PAFA and subsequently commissioned a painting of a similar size and subject matter. In 1844, a reviewer noted that Rothermel's paintings of the conquest, quote, have a penchant for the heroic age of our Western world, for we have had our age of chivalry as well as Europe. Columbus and Cortez and Soto, Rothermel's favorites, were all knights of their time, and knights errant too, for they wandered further in quest of adventure than even the Crusaders. The paintings are decidedly romantic, in keeping with Prescott's approach to history, which Prescott acknowledged as romantic and widely accessible. Rothermel's paintings were not made exclusively for a private domestic context, though private individuals residing in Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, and Boston commissioned them. Rather, they were primarily intended for display in public art exhibitions in Philadelphia and New York City. In order to understand these paintings, we must also understand their intended audiences. Rothermel was not only a leading academician at PAFA, but his patrons included leading Whig elites in Philadelphia and up and down the Eastern Seaboard. For example, of the patrons mentioned one of Rothermel's was James Robb of New Orleans and J.B.H. Latrobe of Baltimore. And they were intimately involved in the expansion of railroad networks across the continent. While another two, Amos Binney of Boston and James Mapes of Newark, New Jersey, were nationally known scientific leaders. By 1862, at the height of the US Civil War, the artist and his patrons were among the founding members of the Republican Union League of Philadelphia. The Union League was created following a time of great turmoil in Philadelphia, a time when Rothermel's paintings of the Spanish conquest were at the height of their popularity. Tension over religion and immigration boiled over in Philadelphia in major anti-Catholic riots in 1844, the same year Rothermel painted Cortez's first view of Mexico. The Philadelphia Nativist riots took place from May 6th to 8th and July 6th to 7th, 1844 in Philadelphia and its suburbs. The riots were a result of rising anti-Catholic sentiment aimed at a growing population of Irish Catholic immigrants. These social conflicts did not go unnoticed in the art world. An 1845 review of Rothermel's showing of the surrender of Guatemozen at the National Academy of Design in New York referred to the painting as being painted by, quote, one of the most promising artists of the mob city. Prescott's narrative, while romanticizing the conquest, was also decidedly anti-Catholic, and so as much a part of the spirit of the times as these nativist riots. At the same time these local tensions were taking over Philadelphia, the United States was becoming embroiled in its conflict with neighboring Mexico, leading up to the Mexican-American War. And it's in these years that Rothermel painted the paintings that I'm showing you here. Rothermel's view of Cortez shifts between 1844 and 1846. What seems to be romantic and celebratory in 1844 is brooding and destructive by 1846. In particular, smoke and lurid flames progressively dominate the canvases. Rothermel also seems to be moving further away from an exclusive focus on figures to the inclusion of landscape as an expressive element in the composition. It's difficult to know how Rothermel felt about American imperialism and territorial expansionism from looking at these pictures. Is Cortez the gallant leader haranguing his troops, as he is on the left, or the melancholic leader looking over the sunset, the color of blood, setting over the city of Tenochtitlan, as it is on the right? How was Rothermel affected by the anti-Catholic riots and fires in his own city, as well as newspaper reports of major conflicts along the Mexican-American border? These paintings are certainly more nuanced and confusing than contemporaneous military topographic images that appeared of the Mexican-American War. For example, an 1846 Battle of Buena Vista takes a military topographic approach to the landscape, which is seen from a bird's eye view. The Mexican landscape forms a backdrop to the impressive military prowess of the US in the foreground. All is controlled and mapped. In his contemporaneous canvases, it is hard to know whether Rothermel expects the viewer to identify with Cortez or see him as a decadent Catholic conquistador. His paintings are all also nuanced enough to suggest that by 1846, Rothermel may have been, like many Americans, disgusted by the bloodshed of the Mexican-American War. The problem of embodying a positive image for Western manifest destiny in the figure of Cortez may have been why Rothermel eventually returned to De Soto as his Spanish colonial hero. And remember, many of Rothermel's patrons were building railroads, so they were highly invested in Western expansion. Indeed, Cortez was most often left out of official US history paintings, most probably because he could too easily be associated with the Protestant Black legend of Spanish cruelty. So he wasn't a really good American hero for the US. Also, in the aftermath of the Mexican-American War, perhaps the Mississippi subject matter was more in keeping with popular taste than the bloody conquest of Mexico City. So a seemingly peaceful image. Rothermel's DeSoto Raising the Cross depicts what was believed at the time, what was perpetuated at the time as the first Christian religious service in the Americas. When Rothermel painted his second and more successful version of this subject, and the one I'm showing you here, DeSoto was a popular figure in Philadelphia. In 1852, the play The Tragedy of DeSoto was presented at Philadelphia's Chestnut Street Theater. And it was actually had scenery painting by Rothermel's fellow academician Russell Smith. Also in 1852, when Rothermel's painting Patrick Henry in the House of Burgesses was exhibited in the Rotunda at the US Capitol, that was when our 20 Philadelphian artists petitioned Congress to commission Rothermel to produce a national work. I believe that the Cortez series and then the return to the subject of DeSoto was an attempt on the part of Rothermel, his patrons, and the Philadelphia art community in general to have one of Rothermel's paintings selected for the US Capitol project. William Henry Powell was painting his discovery of the Mississippi by DeSoto from 1848 to 55. So he was working on that painting for over 7 years. I believe that Rothermel, who knew that Congress was looking for this subject, painted his composition in competition. Landscape has more of a role in this painting than in any of other Rothermel's images of Spanish conquest and discovery. Let me see if I have a better detail. Here, I'll keep it on here. The entire foreground is given over to the pliable clay of the Mississippi riverbanks. Both the cross and the kneeling Native American figures, possibly Chickasaw American Indians, in the right foreground seem to be emerging from the earth. The cross gives the appearance of having been hewn from a tree, unlike the cross in Powell's version, which includes an applied ivory crucified Christ. The cross is being planted in the soil, becoming as much a part of the American soil as the figures. Visually, this is undoubtedly the most accomplished painting of Rothermel's Conquest series. It focuses on the American landscape rather than architecture or figures to convey the dramatic emotional narrative of conquest. And Rothermel, I think, created his masterpiece. At a time when manifest destiny was being bandied about, the term du jour in the United States, what better image than the planting of a cross in the soil of a great western river to suggest the divine destiny of America to push westward? According to Prescott, in this vision of the conquest, the goal is to spread Christianity through the wilderness of America. Rothermel's cross also has other strong visual references in 1852, resembling nothing so much as a telegraph pole and wires that were recently been patented and making its way across the eastern seaboard. So this is Professor Morse's great historical picture here that I'm showing you is actually not a history painting, which was how Morse got his start, but actually the beginning of telegraph poles that were reaching between Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and Philadelphia in this time period. Rothermel employs this format again in his Landing of the Pilgrims. Here, American religion and American landscape are paired to create a successful history painting. The landscape dominates the foreground of snow and storm-tossed waves. Landing of the Pilgrims is not part of the Spanish Conquest series, but it is related, especially when one realizes that the painting was commissioned in 1852, the same year of Rothermel's unsuccessful campaign to receive his US Capitol painting. For example, a comparison between Rothermel's Landing of the Pilgrims and Robert Walter Weir's The Embarkation of the Pilgrims reveals that Weir chose to figure on figures. Rothermel continued his use of landscape to capture the emotional impact of the historic moment. In progressing from Cortez to DeSoto to the Pilgrims, Rothermel moved further and further away from the themes of the Spanish conquest. It makes sense that this is so, given the conditions in contemporary Philadelphia, which by the 1850s was feeling the impending pangs of sectionalism that were to erupt in the US Civil War. In transitioning from Mexico to the Mississippi to New England, Rothermel's paintings offer us a map of US geopolitics in the 1840s and 50s, from excitement about territorial conquest to the south, to anxieties about the spread of slavery to the new lands annexed from Mexico. And Rothermel and his patrons were definitely anti-slavery, to a retreat and idealization of the founders of Protestant New England. In all these themes, Rothermel was aligned with Whig Republican concerns in Philadelphia. First the Whigs, then the Republicans. Rothermel's view of the Spanish conquest say more about Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. in the 1840s and 50s than they do about the 16th century conquest. But that is always the case with history painting. In capturing a moment in time or a moment in history, the artist almost always tells us more about their own time than the one he aims to portray. Thus, from Rothermel's paintings of Cortez and De Soto, we may be able to learn more about the territorial conquest of the Mexican-American War and anxieties over immigration and anxieties over slavery than we can about the conquest of Mexico by Spain. My ongoing project will be a sustained comparative study of Brazilian and Mexican paintings in the same period, revealing the entangled artistic and political ideologies in the academic hemisphere. So if you would like to learn more about this topic, you can read an article in the Capitol Dome. And we're gonna open it up for questions now. But I also want to mention that on Thursday, tomorrow, my dear colleague Jody Throckmorton is going to be having a PAFA Pours conversation. I believe that might be already sold out, but we are looking to record these and make them available. So please stay tuned. And before I open it up to questions, I want to say, if you liked what you heard today and you want to hear more and you want to support us, please consider becoming a member. Or if you can't support PAFA, maybe support a local art organization in your own city or country in this time of global pandemic. So now I'm happy to take all of your questions, and Abby's going to help with that.
Yeah, thank you, Anna. That was wonderful.
Okay, should I stop the sharing? Okay. Stop the sharing. Okay.
So if folks want to go ahead and put their questions in the chat function, we already have one from Karen here that I'm going to read to you, Anna, but keep them coming.
Okay.
So they asked, the PAFA building is similar to the Capitol. What were the functions of the building inside, and what looks like the chambers? What looks like the chambers specifically?
Okay, like the chambers, like the buildings, the rooms of the Capitol. What I can say is that actually Philadelphians were intimately involved in the building of the Capitol. And in this period, the actual architect of the Capitol was a Philadelphian. And a lot of the Philadelphia artists and businessmen tried to get him to get Rothermel's painting in the Rotunda. However, Miggs was the engineer, and he was really in charge. And Miggs really didn't have a very high opinion of American artists, especially Rothermel. He didn't like him very much. He kind of tolerated Leutze. But architecturally, so our current building, the Frank Furness building, the 1876 building, would have been built way after the Capitol. But you're right that the building that I showed you from the 1840s, when Rothermel was the director, was very much built in a sort of neoclassical temple style. And that style was something that was being developed at the US Capitol at the time. So the dome took a long time to be built, and the dome, that beautiful big dome that I showed you, was still being built during the Civil War. So the Rotunda was built, and then it had a lower dome on top of it, and then it was gradually expanded and built up and continuously decorated. So the US Capitol building as it exists now and the PAFA building that I showed you from the mid-19th century were both using a sort of classical temple architecture models with a rotunda in the middle. And our 1876 building also has a rotunda in the middle, even though it doesn't have that neoclassical shape. Thank you for that question.
Nice. Yeah, thank you, Karen. Feel free if you want to put more questions. I don't see any so far. I will also mention if some of us are more verbal questioners than written, we do have an option. If you click Manage Participants, you can actually raise your hand. So if you click that button at the bottom, I can see if you raise your hand, it will pop up and I can call on you and unmute you. It's one way to do it.
And it just says participants, and if you're for the majority of you, and it sort of looks like a little silhouette of a.
You actually, Anna, this is Monica, you have Karen clarifying her question. I think she actually wanted to know more about PAFA's building and did our rotunda have a display area from the get-go?
Okay, so PAFA has had, well, we've had 4 buildings, but our main buildings, historically there were 3. So we had one that was built after 1805, one that was built in the 1840s, 50s, and that one would have had, I believe in the rotunda at that time period, we probably had our classical cast collection. So it was definitely, of course, we didn't have any photography in that time period, and I don't know of any drawings of the interior of PAFA in the 1840s and 50s. So I don't know exactly what it looked like, but I do know that there would have been our classical cast collection where people would have drawn from, and I think that might have been in the rotunda. Also, when we had our annual exhibitions, it would have just taken over every surface. Now, we have great photographs from the late 19th century of that happening in our Furness 1876 building, but of course, we don't have any images of how that rotunda space was used at PAFA. But maybe what you're getting at is, why didn't Rothermel paint a painting for PAFA's rotunda? And he painted many paintings for PAFA, and we have many in our collection, these large history paintings, and they would have been shown in annual exhibitions at PAFA. Oh boy, we're getting lots of questions.
So I'm going to start with the question from Rowena, since it was first.
Okay.
We're curious whether the telegraph wires actually appear in other 19th century American paintings. So thinking about the Rising Cross that you mentioned before, they can't think of any.
Okay, so thank you, Rowena, for that question. I didn't know you were on here. Rowena and I were Smithsonian Fellows over 10 years ago, and she lives in Austin, Texas. So thank you. Gosh, it's so great to have you on here. Yes. So Wendy Bellion has done some really interesting work on her new book about iconoclasm in New York. There's this really famous painting. Well, I don't know how famous it is. Most people probably don't know it, but Americanists do. And it's a scene of a statue of King George, an equestrian King George, in a square in New York being torn down. And it also has that similar look of the telephone poles, and it's from a similar time period. So I know Wendy and I have thought about the 1850s and what's going on in terms of using telegraph poles in history paintings from earlier periods. I think it could be a really fertile thing to study, but I haven't gotten there, but I do know of that one other painting.
Awesome. So the next one we have, I think there's kind of two that are overlapping. So we have one from Maureen, but then looking down at one with Adrian, because Maureen asks if Rothermel ever had any depictions of Pocahontas. And I think it's related that Adrian also asks if there are any issues of driving out extermination of Native Americans beginning in the 1830s figure into these Rotunda images. So two separate questions, but one about specific and one about.
Okay, let's take the simple question first. And thank you. I see, Maureen, that you are an education specialist at the Capitol. And you must have a really challenging job because those history paintings are super dense. And I've been really impressed by how you specialists at the Capitol deal with them. Because they are so filled with very troubling images. And so, but to answer your question about Rothermel and Pocahontas, no, I am not aware of him having ever done the subject of Pocahontas. He seems to focus more on the Spanish conquest, and he does do some Virginia scenes, but not necessarily of Pocahontas. I could be wrong, but I'm running through my little Rolodex in my head, and I don't think that he ever did that. I think he specifically did DeSoto because he knew that somebody wanted a Western scene, and the Pocahontas scene would have already been done and in the U.S. Capitol, so he wouldn't have wanted to put that up. And then, and this question from Adrian, great. How does the issue of driving out extermination of Native Americans beginning in the 1830s figure in the Rotunda images? So if any of you have spent much time in the US Capitol, or even if you haven't, you can go onto the US Capitol website and they have the most amazing images of the art and architecture of the Capitol. And that's what my friend Fernanda meant when she said that the US Capitol program is impressive and oppressive. The sort of the issue of destruction of Native American culture and lives is really baked into the US Capitol. Architecturally, through sculpture, many Americanists know that there were these two sculptures that used to be on the front of the US Capitol that basically showed Native American subjugation. And there's been some really amazing research done on those two sculptures that are now no longer on the steps of the US Capitol. I can't remember right now where they are. I think they still exist. They're either in the basement or they're in the basement of the Smithsonian. Somebody will know and correct me. I don't know exactly where they are. I know they haven't been destroyed. But if you look, so in the US Capitol, and you can go see all of these amazing images on their website, there are the history paintings, but then there are these, there are these frieze sculptures, many of which depict the extermination of Native American peoples. And then there is a large grisaille frieze around the top that also depicts not only destruction of Native American peoples in the United States, but the conquest of Mexico, and setting it up as a precedent for America conquering the city of Mexico. So and that's another reason I mentioned that they included Columbus, and particularly in the Caribbean. The US Capitol is a manifestation of American imperial ambitions. So not only the subjugation of Native Americans, but the spreading over the Caribbean, over the West, to the South, to Mexico. It's this sort of highly ambitious imperialist program. And when I was there as a US Capitol Fellow, it was during the it was about the debates about health insurance, and John McCain actually made a speech on the floor when I was down in the basement. So he was above me giving a speech, and I was watching it. And he was talking about how the US was not an imperial nation. And I just started laughing because I'm like, how could you work in this building every day and not think that the US was an imperial nation? You know, like, do you not look up? Yeah, this is something I spoke a lot with my fellows and also the architect of the Capitol when I was in the building. And one of the reasons I think the objects that are in the building and also the objects that are no longer in the building or that didn't make it into the building merit sustained attention.
Nice. Yeah, and
Oh,
I think,
look, Matthew Gilmore posted the images of those two statues, the Rescue and Discovery of America. Thank you, Matthew.
yeah, we've got a lot of really helpful resources already in the comments. Thank you to everybody for some of the things you're sharing. I want to go, we have a question from Becky, but we also had our first hand raised, and I wanted to see if you are comfortable taking that. We have Charles Pryor, if you want to unmute yourself. Ask.
Oh, Charles is our Canadian, right?
Yeah. Hi. How you doing?
I'm good. My son didn't come in and we got through it. Whew.
Yeah. Great. Thanks for taking the question. I guess that I just want to pick up on the last question about when you were in the Capitol and McCain was speaking and denying that America was imperial. I mean, my particular interest is American Indian treaties. That's the project that we're running here. So you've answered a lot of this already, but to what extent, looking at the correspondence or some of the printed stuff around the letters these people might have exchanged, were they self-consciously seeking to construct an imperial image of themselves by invoking connections with the Spanish conquistadors? Because, I mean, do they see themselves as conquerors or do they see themselves as benign conquerors? I mean, how do they accept that idea?
Oh, okay. Well, that's a really complicated and excellent question. I know one of my colleagues, Richard Kagan, is probably listening right now, and he's done a lot of work on how New Englanders, for example, like Prescott, like the historians of the time, would have positioned the United States as the anti-Spanish. So they would have, you know, maybe, so one of the people on there was John Quincy Adams, right? So maybe New Englanders with this sort of Protestant view of themselves, saying that we are the sort of benign, we are not the Spanish conquistadors, we are not Catholic, right? We are Protestant, we are enlightened. So I think there was a way that they were thinking of their own empire as being different and better from the Spanish Empire. But I also think that they were trying to, by using the Spanish conquistadors, they were trying to set up a precedent as a way of enveloping Mexico into the United States identity. And that's what I think Rothermel and his patrons were interested in doing at the beginning of the Mexican-American War, actually. By the end of the Mexican-American War, Whigs, which was the party that preceded the Republicans, the Whigs, were actually really nervous about American conquest. They thought, you know, that Americans shouldn't be taking over Mexico. And then they were also worried about what was going to happen west of the Mississippi, because they did not want slavery to spread. So this is also the time when the free soil movement gets involved. And that's another reason I think the soil in that painting is so important. I think people are really, Whigs in Philadelphia at least, are very worried about American empire and the expansion of slavery. So I think that these are very complicated. There are all these different politicians from different parts of the country who have different ideas about the way America should be, and they're all battling it out to to think about how they're going to project that in art in the US Capitol.
Thank you.
We're at almost the end of our time here. Do you want to, do we have time for one more? Is that all right with you? I know I want to be respectful of your time with.
Well, my son is watching TV, and I love all these questions, so I'm happy to answer a few more.
Lovely. So we had one from Becky, from before Becky Simon. Why are there so many of these paintings and other paintings on riverbanks? So looking at setting.
Oh, Becky, thank you. Rivers. I love talking about rivers, right, James? We love rivers. So many of these paintings are on riverbanks because rivers are the conduits of trade and empire. So just like there are so many landscape paintings that are done on rivers, if you're going to be doing a history painting, you're probably going to be on, the seashore, or you're going to be on a river, because you're going to be at this moment of expansion, conflict, war, and you need water to get there. So that's why rivers are so important, and rivers are the conduits of empire, and so they're going to be featured heavily in the 19th century.
I think we have time for one more. So let's do one from Karen that just came in. You showed the compass Rosetta Stone in the crypt. I understand that the earlier configuration included an opening above into the rotunda, similar to Grant's tomb in New York. It had to be sealed because the painting and the rotunda were being damaged by humidity. Any comments on that conservation, relevant legislation, and politics of that conservation effort? Thanks, Karen, for a great question.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would probably have to defer to some architectural historians for that. I do know that the design originally was going to be that it would be kind of open, and that George Washington would be buried down there. And I think Amanda Burden also asked a question about that. She was fascinated by the geographic importance of the Capitol and the placement of George Washington in there. So I know that so to answer the question about conservation, yes, the paintings were being damaged by humidity, and the paintings actually are still being damaged. In fact, the Vanderlyn in particular is bubbling. And I don't think it's a secret for me to say this, because my colleagues at the Capitol have been wanting to conserve it. But it's so large, it's hard to know how to conserve it. We had been talking with some colleagues at the Smithsonian about perhaps taking the painting out and conserving it off-site and then bringing it back. We sort of dreamed about wouldn't it be great if a contemporary artist like Kent Monkman did an installation for the US Capitol. I don't think that's going to happen, but the conservation challenges and the humidity of that space is real. And the US Capitol is one of the most visited locations in Washington, DC. So you can imagine all of those bodies moving through that space. It continues to be very challenging.
Great. Well, thank you, Anna, so much for being our first virtual Art at Noon. And thank you to all of you for joining us. This was so lovely. We had such a great turnout. We are going to be doing this every week for as long as we are in the situation we find ourselves in. So please keep checking our website. We'll be sending out e-blasts and hope to have future listings up by the end of this week. But again, thank you to you. And thanks so much, Anna, for spending time with us.
Thank you guys so much for joining me. It was really great to see so many friends, scholars, and supporters of PAFA on here. And I look forward to giving a talk to you guys again next time. Probably I'm going to be thinking about women artists at the turn of the 20th century. So very different, but stay tuned.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.